I know that
timeline
Johnny
from
O.
time to time.
Yeah, our local photographer.
But maybe we can save that.
We might be able to.
Who's joining us, Kat?
We got a Brian in the house.
How you guys doing this morning?
So you may have heard of this guy. He's kind of popped up in the news and around all over the place lately, which is how we heard of you, because you did something. You did a thing. You started a GoFundMe to try and reopen Geauga Lake.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, we've been talking about this for about 10 years. When I say we, I mean everybody, the entire community. And in the meantime, there's about 50 people a year that get arrested trespassing, and there's every excuse in the book. You know, they propose this and they propose that, and it always falls through, and they come up with reasons why they can and reasons why they can't. And we've heard every excuse in the book, and now we actually have the technology available right at our fingertips to do something about it, and to collect all the people together collectively and do something as the people. So
I heard it's pretty pricey to do something like this because it's a lot of land that's just sitting out there.
Yeah. So the land acquisition, I believe, is probably going to be the easiest part of the whole massive plan that I have on that.
Well, you know, to back up a little bit, on a little smaller level, but a more historical level, there's a group of people a couple years ago about our age, and so you're in your early 20s, but, you know, so we're in our early 30s, and, well, I'm not, but Kat is. And so
I'm the younger one.
So they wanted to save what's called the Old Tavern, the Unionville Tavern. It's right on the border of Lake and Ashtabula County there. And so and people are like, oh, you're crazy. And they actually are now probably in like second or third phase of helping save that. So it is possible to do stuff like this, and through different GoFundMe projects, through different groups and backings, and it all starts somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was the people started the petition a couple of years back to save Geauga Lake, but it seems like, you know, everybody kind of has the idea that petitions, like, what do they really do? Who do they really show? The companies don't really care how many people sign it.
True.
But I strongly believe that if you can get enough people and enough money behind it, that you can do something here.
You get a lot of mouths talking about it, and I don't see a lot of them putting their money there.
Right.
So, I mean, you have a good point. If we have all of these people that are like, man, I wish it was open, throw me $1 then.
Right. And
throw me $1.
And, you know, like I was saying, I think the land acquisition will be one of the easier parts. I mean, I think, you know, for less than $20 million, you can secure the land. And realistically, to some large investors, that's not that much money. You know, if you have somebody out there like LeBron James or Dan Gilbert out there listening and they want to help out.
Forget a LeBron James
that's
coaster. You could have a LeBron James theme park.
What we need,
oh, my gosh.
That's exactly it.
Do you
so
know?
Like I go in there, and then 15 years later, like, I just keep moving back on the top of my head somehow. It's just weird.
Oh!
I love you, LeBron!
Do you know you have a real piece of Geauga Lake history in this room with you right now?
What's that? I didn't know.
You do.
What are you doing?
I'm talking about Mr. Jeremy James, a.k.a. Robin.
It's Dick Grayson. Thank you very much.
My bad. Whatever.
No, I worked there for a little while doing.
Tell the whole story, because Mitchell didn't even hear the whole story.
Okay, so what happened was they went. So it was Geauga Lake, and then it went to Six Flags for a little while, and then there's a whole DC connection with Six Flags, and so they brought in Batman, and they put a new Batman ride in, and so they wanted to do a live stunt show, so they did the Batman Thrill Spectacular, and I got cast through many auditions as Robin.
Oh, man.
And so, yeah, I actually worked out at Six Flags / Geauga Lake and enjoyed it and had a good time.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've heard a lot of stories. That takes the cake. That is the coolest one.
My story's way better.
Okay,
tell my
let's
story.
hear yours
You
then.
tell my story
Okay,
now.
let's hear yours.
Oh, your one?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a bridge over there. If you've looked at the map,
Yeah.
there's a bridge, and it used to go to SeaWorld over there.
Oh, the bridge across the lake?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that
And
one. Oh,
yeah.
there's a big lots of koi and carp and different fish in
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
And instead of paying a little quarter or the dime to get the fish food out, Cat would just hawk loogies over the bridge, and the fish would eat that.
They would eat them.
Yeah.
My story's way better.
No, it's really
See?
mean.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Why are you shaking your head at me, Mitchell?
I disapprove.
You have any questions?
No, I'm just
Convince him to give you money to open
Yeah, you
Geauga
got
Lake.
$20 million?
I do not know.
You got 5?
You got a
I do
couple.
not.
A couple?
You got a couple. You have change that you can
I
spend.
still have that
close to
$2 bill.
1,000 right
Okay.
I'm not getting rid of it.
Brandon on the live stream is saying, bring back the Raging Wolf Bobs.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that was
That
my
would be
first coaster.
way up there. My first coaster was the Dominator, so that'd be way up there to bring back the Raging Wolf Bobs.
So,
I bet many people had their first coaster
Yeah.
ride over at Geauga Lake.
Yeah, for sure.
so on your GoFundMe page, you have kind of a plan laid out. Can you explain a little bit about what would happen if this was to go?
Yeah, so as of right now, you know, this is a huge plan, a huge vision, a huge grand vision that has multiple phases in the way to the top. So right now, the first phase is acquiring the money, obviously,
Right.
so that we can acquire the land. And along with that goes taxes and all sorts of fees and all sorts of. It's not just acquiring the land. And then once we're done with that, we still have a wasteland. Right now, I mean, it's an absolute wasteland.
Yeah.
There's a lot of footers in there. There's a lot of hazardous waste. So there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done.
I'm sorry for spitting in the lake.
Something that we need to clean up her
Gotta
spit.
get
You know,
out.
something similar to like a nature preserve, make it preserved for future generations to enjoy it like we did, regardless of whether there's coasters or attractions there. And then the next phase would be to start adding some smaller attractions, such as smaller rides, picnic pavilions, hotels, dance halls, stuff like that, so that we can start generating some money and start keeping people there. Something slightly different from what Geauga Lake was when it closed, but more of like what Geauga Lake was when it opened.
yeah,
Right.
Oh.
Exactly. So we kind of have to start from the beginning.
And we all have to wear those Roaring 20s bathing suits.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Brandon
Umbrellas.
Walters has to come and volunteer because he said he lost a few pair of shoes
Yeah.
there. Well, come back and pick them up.
Come on.
We'll
Okay.
drain out the lake and get them for you.
Well,
Definitely.
thank you for actually starting this because I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we'll follow along and we'll go to the GoFundMe and
Absolutely.
throw a little
This is a
trash
good
in
idea.
there.
It says
we
let's
don't have 20 million, but if
Metal
if a bunch of
detect to
people
raise
throw
the
just a
funds.
little bit, it'll be all right.
for sure. Okay, give your last plea.
So yeah, we really want to get everybody on board with this. I think a lot of the media coverage and stuff is legitimizing it. We're also going to be releasing tonight which charity we've chosen for the money to go to in case this doesn't come to fruition.
Lovely.
So
That's awesome.
We're still pushing forward with this relentlessly. But if it doesn't happen, it's looking right now it's going to be Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so all the donors will have an opportunity to contact me if they're not comfortable with that. But that's the plan as of right now. So.
But I think we're going to make Geauga
I
Lake
think
happen.
so too. I sure think so. So
Thanks, Brian.
thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate it. Was that decent?
Yeah.
You did well.
Thank you.
So that's not a bad idea. Brandon is saying we could go up there with some metal detectors, find all the change that fell out of people's pockets, all the jewelry that got lost.
Yeah.
I think
Somebody
they've done
else.
that.
Somebody said the other day, it's like you just have a bunch of Boy Scouts, a bunch of volunteers come up there and just clean it. It's like that's not a bad idea, but at the same time, we got like 1-ton footers all over. You know, I mean.
This lady, Heather, says she wants to help you. And she says to contact her about helping to raise the money.
So when we,
Heather, how can he get a hold of you?
Well, after this Facebook page, after this live video is over, we will save it, and then you can.
Yeah, my contact information's on the GoFundMe, so you should be able to contact me through there, and I'll be able to respond pretty quickly. So yeah, I've
Booyah!
been doing that a lot. So
All right, say goodbye to the people.
all right, goodbye everybody. Thanks for joining us.